Today, from Brooklyn, New York, it's Week 7 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Brooklyn Barons taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Brooklyn ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
On first down, Hernandez. And his first look is incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. So 2 incompletions have led them to an early 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Hernandez. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. So they bring out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. This is taken at the 10. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Russell Wilson leads out the Seattle Seahawks offense. The veteran Wilson, a 3rd-round pick back in 2012.
And what a first half of the season he's had, leading the NFL in passing yards to this point. He's been a tough man to slow down. So this defense certainly has its work cut out for him.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 15. Throwing to start the drive. Wilson escaping the pressure right. Wheaton's got it. And some room to roam now. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A big play that time on the catch and run. The offense has to love that because that was just a dump down, and then he turned something out of seemingly nothing.
And the best quarterbacks understand that dumping it down is often a good play, a better play than even what was drawn up.
Wilson's throw caught here by Metcalf. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. Out left here, it's complete to Wheaton. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Again, Wilson eluding the pressure right. He'll get that complete to Parkinson. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down. They needed 5 there on third down. He winds up getting 7. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. This is caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up first and goal.
Throwing is Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Second down, Jacobs once more. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Man open, that's Henry Ruggs. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 45-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Off the play fake. Hernandez. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, Hernandez throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now a give to Jacobs running right. It'll be a 9-yard gain that time, and it'll also be the final play of this first quarter. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And Jacobs, I don't think is going to get there, no. It appears they're going to mark him short of the first. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Throwing to start the drive. Wilson. Complete to Wheaton. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. So no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. Flushed out right. Catch is made by Metcalf. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Oh, he fakes a spike under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Boy, every time I see speed like that off the edge, Charles, I just don't know how these offensive linemen do it. I would think that they would get called for holding every play, and maybe they should have been called for holding on that one.
Yeah, maybe not just holding, but sometimes you end up setting back in the offensive backfield a little bit farther to try and help you with the edge. That's a penalty as well. Sometimes you overset, they'll come inside of you. That's what speed does. It disrupts an offense. And right now, you've got to pay attention to this edge rusher on every single down.
The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. 3rd down here. Wilson. Brought in by Wheaton. And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Flush to his right. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A big connection on that one. 32 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2.
Now it's Wilson, escaping the pressure right. Caught on the slant. Touchdown, Seahawks. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make the score 14-0. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards, and the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff?
Yeah.
Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here.
2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. 2nd and 4.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Now this throw caught left side. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now Hernandez to throw on second down.
And it is incomplete. I had a defender running right with him. And now it's third down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's Hernandez on third down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to make it fourth down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up fourth down.
And his kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, and it's the Chiefs who have the lead in the second quarter. Patrick Mahomes has thrown a touchdown pass there. From there, we're off to check out another game, and they've got the lead in their matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Former number 1 overall pick Joe Burrow with a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley to check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Detroit Lions. The Lions are hanging in there in the playoff race as they jump above 500 now to 4-3 on the year. In our game, it's been Russell Wilson who was dynamic as usual in that first half. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway.
Taking it about the 1. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. DK Metcalf of the Seattle offense about set to take over once again.
And he is closing in on the 100-yard mark for the day.
And it appears that he loved the fact that they're going to play this game earlier. You know, daytime, he's out there running around, feeling good about himself. Whatever his prep was coming in, he was able to get out there quick and fire away.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Eluding the pressure right.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Here's Wilson. Flushed out right.
He goes right back to Metcalf, this time complete.
And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Wilson's throw caught by Metcalf. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Forced out to his left. And I think the ball's out. And now who's got it? The defense does. They recover in the end zone. So this will go as a touchback. And, boy, you talk about going from jubilation to heartbreak, as that's a big turnover.
Well, you had an offense working with a comfortable 2-score lead here in the third quarter, and certainly doesn't feel as comfortable now following the turnover.
Yeah, you're right about that, because now the nerves start to come into play a little bit. You're a little bit jangled. You don't want to give your opponents any avenues to get back into the game. What you'd rather do, put up signs that say, roads closed.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Hernandez. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Looking to throw. Hernandez.
Got his connection, complete to Ruggs.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
And a slant hold in by Ruggs.
And touchdown!
Henry Ruggs
With touchdown number 12 on the year.
And the Barons have got it back to within a score.
Now the offense will stay out there. They're going to line up and try for 2. They'll try and throw for it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Popular down near the goal line. Quick slant. Nice job there to get in, knock it away.
It was, and one of the other things you're concerned about when you throw that route is to make sure your offensive linemen use their leverage to get the hands of the defensive front down so you can throw it through that little bit of crowd and get it to the receiver. In this event, they did, but a nice play by the defender knocking it away.
DK Metcalf for the Seattle offense about set to take over once again.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right. Usually
it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Flush to his right. Leaping, and he makes the grab. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense. That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Escaping the pressure right. And it's caught. Touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now.
And the Seahawks are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense.
And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Back to throw. Hernandez. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
The offense on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. And he's got his big tight end here. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
In trouble, and he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Looking to throw. Hernandez
Completes this out left to Ruggs.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 35. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Now a throw here, hauled in. A gain of 6 there on 1st. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they move this all the way down to the 9.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
And he'll be taken down after a gain of about 8, as that will lead us to the 2-minute warning.
Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. Hernandez looking to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off inside the 5, past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops.
Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11.
Wilson wants to throw it, eluding the pressure right. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Buying time to his left. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Wilson. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Here's Wilson. Flushed out right. He'll find Metcalf. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Wilson will throw again. Flush to his right. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. 2nd down and goal. Wilson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson. A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Seahawks add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will make this a 19-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Hernandez. The open man here, Renfro. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Hernandez. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. So the victory here for Seattle. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball.
You're
handing out multiple, although I set you up by saying game balls, plural, but I
like where we're going with this, though. You say one to represent, like the best player of all of that. And I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So for the Seahawks, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they drop just their second game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL.